Hello. I don't understand on how to handle a difficult situation with my girlfriend. We've been together for 4 months and I'm very familiar with her family. However, things have become strained after she went on a 21-day vacation with a male friend from her past exchange program, and I wasn't invited at the last minute. We didn't communicate much during her trip, and I'm unsure how to approach things when I pick her up from the airport. Here's the background. Before we started dating, she mentioned a close friendship with a man, let's call him Luca, whom she met during her exchange year in Italy. They have kept in touch since, and she spoke highly of him. When he planned to visit our country, she thought it would be a good opportunity for me to meet him. I was on board with this idea, and we started planning to spend time together in the capital city during his visit. However, a few days before the trip, she casually mentioned that Luca had developed romantic feelings for her back then, but she didn't feel the same way and made sure he understood that. I wasn't concerned at first, but then she said, "I fear that, if you come, we'll spend too much time together and it might be awkward." I was confused, but didn't make a big deal of it, hoping we could talk it through. But the day before their departure, she told me that I couldn't join them at all. She explained that she had made a promise to Luca to make him feel welcome during his visit, and that my presence would interfere with their time together. She mentioned that they shared intimate secrets and needed privacy. She also said that Luca was shy, and she felt it was important to repay him for something. When I asked why the decision changed so suddenly, especially since she had been excited about the idea of us spending time together the night before, she said that her mother had helped her come to this conclusion. I tried not to react too emotionally, but I was hurt and confused, even if she apologized multiple times. The 21 days have passed with little communication, and I'm still processing my feelings. My friends have made some mean comments about the fact that I'm the biggest cuck, and I'm torn between how I feel and how to handle things when she gets back. I want to talk about it, but I'm unsure of the best approach. How can I discuss this with her in a way that opens the conversation without escalating things? What's the best way to express my concerns and get clarity on her perspective and an honest apology without it turning into a confrontation? Ajal. First of all, thank you all for your advice. I was the one who broke contact. I did it because we had an argument before she left, decided to still go without me. But every day during the vacation she would send me some over-the-top texts about loving me or picture of us months back saying, "Look at my background for my new phone," which made super me uncomfortable and upset because she was with him too whole time. Plus said that my presence would interfere, so why would she want me to text her this much but not be there? I found it disrespectful, so I said to her that I was still upset at her last-minute change of mind and that we'd talk after she'd get back. She's not in Italy right now. She's in the capital city of my country at her uncle's house, and I'm not sure if they are sharing a room. The man she's with is from her exchange program's family. She left on the 27th of January and is coming back on the 15th of February. Her trip was planned with him way before we started dating as a way for her to repay her debt of him showing her his country by showing him her country in return. She was also the one that originally asked me to tag along during the trip. So my reasoning is that, given she's at a relative's house with a guy who's technically a long-time relative/friend, it makes it somewhat less likely that she is cheating. But I really thank you guys, because I wouldn't have realized how, at very least, it's a huge disrespect to uninvite me and make me go pick her up at the airport. Which she told me a few hours ago that she asked a friend instead to come. I think it's because she's angry at me for breaking contact, but who knows? It may be her setting the tone for her gaslighting when she gets back. What do you think about? Here are some popular comments.
A lot of red flags on this one for sure. He had feelings for her. They share intimate secrets. Why have intimate secrets when they are not even dating? She said she don't feel the same when he had romantic feelings for her and yet still have intimate secrets. Huge red flag. And all of the sudden she uses her mom as an excuse? Come on. All I got is her giving you a bunch of excuses to exclude you on a trip. Let alone it's 21 days, just 2 of them. She obviously needs to understand from your perspective too, and not hers alone. Would she be okay if you and some girl who had feelings for you went on a long trip? My money is on no. With that, you are still young, and I hope you go find someone better.
I'll never understand why people allow themselves to be treated so poorly. If you fear being alone this much, you need to get help with that. It isn't allowing you to process information correctly. Your GF is treating you like shit, has zero respect for you whatsoever, and you're wondering what you need to do about it? Jesus, dude. Have some respect for yourself and get the necessary help to start healthily dealing with stuff like this.
Your GF just had a romantic 3-week holiday while you were left on the sideline with little contact. Pretty sure he is her boyfriend, mate. Look, I am not for blocking or ghosting generally, but you're 19. You shouldn't be dealing with this BS. So yeah, don't even hear her out. This is far, far, far too big a boundary that has been crossed. I'd walk, no run away from here, and never look back. Luca can have her.
She's partaking in a great Italian specialty dish, Luca sausage. There is literally zero way this plays out that do not involve A, you breaking up with her and her taking an Uber from the airport, or B, you being a cuck and getting to sit in the corner while she gets railed by him and occasionally pities you enough to wink and blow a kiss in your direction as you sit in the chair in the corner, ready to provide cleanup. I have tons of female friends. None of those relationships look like her and Luca. Not only is she cheating on you, but she's assuming you're stupid enough to believe her poor lies.
All right, my dude, I'm about to lay this out as raw and real as you need it. No sugarcoating, no dancing around it. You ready? Good, because here's the deal. Your girlfriend played you like a goddamn fiddle, and you're standing there holding the bow, wondering what went wrong. Let's get one thing straight. This whole situation is a circus, and she's the ringleader. First off, she casually tells you before the trip that this dude, Luca, had feelings for her back in the day. Red flag 1. But instead of setting boundaries with him to protect your relationship, she doubles down and prioritizes his comfort over yours. Then she drops the bomb that you can't go because it might make things awkward. Awkward? For who? Because I'll tell you this much, it's damn awkward for you, her supposed boyfriend, watching her jet off for 3 weeks with some dude who wants her. Now let's talk about this intimate secrets bullshit. What the hell does that even mean? Why is your girlfriend sharing private, intimate things with another guy while you're standing on the sidelines like some unpaid intern? That's not just disrespectful, it's disloyal. And if her excuse is he's shy and needs privacy, come on, man, that's some next level gaslighting. She basically told you to your face that your presence would be an inconvenience to her. And this guy, let that sink in. And don't think for a second her mom's advice makes this any better. What kind of grown-ass woman needs her mom to convince her that ditching her boyfriend for 21 days with another man is the right move? That's not a relationship. That's a middle school drama. But here's the nuclear truth you need to hear. This girl doesn't respect you. Respect is the foundation of any real relationship, and she tossed that out the window the second she made this trip about him and not you two as a couple. You're not her priority. Hell, you're not even in the top 3 right now. Luca, her mom, and her guilt about some promise she made to him all come before you. That's not a relationship, my guy. That's a slow mixture humiliation train you're tied to. And your friends, yeah, they're being harsh calling you a cuck, but let's be real. They're not wrong. She went on a damn honeymoon with another dude, and you're out here wondering how to politely bring this up without confrontation? Dude, there's no way to sugarcoat this. She screwed up. Majorly. And you're worried about escalating things? Bro, the second she told you I made a promise to Luca, things were already escalated. Here's what you need to do. Do not show up at that airport to pick her up. You're not her chauffeur, and after this stunt, you damn sure don't owe her a warm welcome home. Let her take an Uber or call Luca for a ride. She made it clear you weren't a part of this trip, so you don't need to be part of her return. That'll send a clear message without you even having to say a word. When you do sit her down, you look her dead in the eye and you tell her straight up that this isn't going to fly. Ask her why the hell Luca's feelings and comfort came before yours. Ask her why she thought this was remotely acceptable in a relationship. And when she starts fumbling for excuses, you'll have your answer. She doesn't see you as an equal partner. She doesn't respect you, and she sure as hell doesn't prioritize you. At that point, you need to seriously consider walking away. Because let's face it, if you let this slide, you're setting the tone for the rest of your relationship. And trust me, my dude, you do not want to spend your life being the guy who gets sidelined for some shy dude with a thing for your girl. Bottom line, grow a spine, demand some damn respect, and if she can't give it to you, show her the door. Oh, and don't forget, do not pick her up from the airport. Let her feel the consequences of her choices. End of story.
I mostly agree with what's been said here, but my 2 cents. If everything looks like a romantic fling, it probably is a romantic fling. You can choose how to respond, though responding in advance is preferable. A blunt conversation about setting rules is essential, and deciding how serious things would be if one of them got broken. If you need to be exclusive about intimacy, that's a good time to reiterate that. If you don't, that's fine, but you should say what the rules are. Any acts you'd prefer to stay between you using protection. In my region, the latter arrangement is pretty common, but it's definitely something that gets figured out before tilde if happens, or else it's still usually a reason to break up. I don't think she was respectful at all to do things this way, and communication is essential regardless of whether she was on a trip with a Ken doll or with someone you know she'd be incredibly into. 3 weeks is a long time to go without communication, which would be the actual relationship ending thing for most anyone. The purpose of a relationship is not just sexual intimacy, it's about living life together, and the together part is all the communication that happens to share when you're not together. This isn't the 1800s where your boss can send you to do a real estate deal in Romania while leaving your partner behind, knowing that mail isn't going to work very well. Any ground rules for this should have included some time to check in, even if it were limited to an hour phone call a week. When I was your age, that was the rule when I went abroad for the summer, for example. As to immediate stuff, I probably would pick her up at the airport, but I'd be upfront about the fact that we were going to have a hard conversation and that I had major concerns.
Definitely have a thought or two about this situation. My first thought is that you are naive as hell. Settle down and don't overreact at my saying that, and listen me out. There's a definite pattern of her manipulating you in what you described that has transpired. If I am correct, there's a pretty easy way to find out. You stated that she said that her mother helped her make the decision to exclude you from the trip. What you need to do before she returns is to stop by to see her mom and have a polite conversation with her. While you're at it, ask her why she told her daughter at the last moment that it would be best to exclude you from the trip. Watch her reaction carefully in body language and pay careful attention to what she says and how she says it. It will tell you everything you need to know. I will give you 100-to-1 odds that she will be shocked and doesn't know anything about it. If she did tell her that, she will try to rationalize her conversation with her daughter and sell you on why it was the best decision. It will be one or the other. Either way, you will know. If her mom knew nothing about it, I would let her mother know that she needs to pick her daughter up at the airport. If her mother did have the conversation as your girlfriend described, then go ahead and follow through on your commitment to pick her up. Forget thinking about an apology from her. You need to ditch her and move on. You are dumber than snot if you think that Luca and her haven't been bawling their eyes out for the past 20 days. Do not believe any protestations to the contrary from her, as she has clearly manipulated you in the past and would do it again in a heartbeat and be successful. All of what I have said is harsh for me to say, but as an experienced guy, I will bet my left gonad that it's true. You have no future with this woman, having successfully manipulated you to this extent now and violated your trust. It would only continue to get worse in the future.
Wow, don't pick her up from the airport. Show that you are seriously repulsed by this behavior. Communicate, for the love of God, but don't let her fool you into thinking this was acceptable. Tell her that booking a full-on duo trip with a man she kinda knows that had feelings for her is not normal. She went behind your back and canceled your whole trip last minute so you couldn't talk about it, ghosted you for the whole trip, and doesn't see how that disrespected every amount of trust that you have for her. My question is, would you ever do this to someone you care about, especially if they expressed how it made them uncomfortable? Would you dismiss them so hard and in such a stupid way I don't care what she did with the guy. If you wouldn't do something like this to her, why are you letting it happen to you? Get a partner that treats you how you would treat them, with compassion and care.
Right before her plane takes off, tell her you can't pick her up because you promised your car it would just be you in it for a while and you don't want to make it awkward by having her there. It's shy, and your mechanic helped put things in perspective that it wouldn't be fair to have her there, distracting you and boggarting your attention. Then change your house key, block her on everything, and change your phone number, and hopefully she'll just fuck all the way off. Clearly, she doesn't respect you, so return the attitude similarly.
Let me give you some honest, tough advice that will hopefully help you. Women wonder why men are choosing to be single. Stuff like this is obviously why. The heartache, manipulation, gaslighting, and lack of accountability on the part of Western women. Male boundaries and preferences are labeled as insecurity, whereas these girls, it is incorrect to call them women, want freedom to do whatever they want, whenever they want. Do not fall for it. As a man, you have to be secure with yourself and not put up with female fuckery. Honestly, the guys most of these broads are attracted to are successful men who are confident in themselves and aren't afraid to tell their girl goodbye like it was nothing when the girl acts up and acts like a whore. Could you, for a second, imagine if the shoe was on the other foot, if you had gone on a 21-day vacation with some cheek and told your GF not to come? You have to be ice cold when you let this girl go. That is how you win. You don't need to ghost her. No, that is too easy for her, and she will think nothing of it. You don't pick her up at the airport. You don't message her. You don't follow her socials or text her. When she is stranded at the airport and she calls you for a ride, you just simply tell her that you're not going to pick her up. Tell her to find another ride. If she asks why, you just need to explain to her how crazy it is for her to think that she can just go on a 3-week trip with some guy without you, and that when she returns, she expects you to be her chauffeur, picking her up from the airport. Don't be angry. Don't raise your voice. Don't show emotion. Emotional people are weak, and it lets her know she hurt you. Just say, your actions let me know exactly the kind of person you are, and not interested in pursuing anything with you, whether it be friendship or anything more. Goodbye. Then level up. Eat clean, get in the gym, work on your finances. Do not pay any attention to these heartless, brainless women who think dating is a game and are being run through by guy after guy, wonder why no man takes them seriously. I'm a doctor making almost $500,000 a year. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I don't have any stress when it comes to dealing with these selfish Western women. Karma is a dish best served cold, and you'll be the one laughing when this chick is a single mother alone at 40 with all of her cat.
She is cheating. You know it and don't want to admit it. She knows you do and will never rescue from this point forward.
You cannot stay with this girl. You have an opportunity to save your dignity. Block her and never speak to her again. Your friends are calling you a cuck. If you stay with her, they'll be correct.
In her eyes, you have already broken up. There is no situation where this went well. 100% she hooked up with him for 3 weeks and is now coming back to you. Do you take her back?
I disagree with the rest. Pick her up from the airport, tell her you missed her and you hope she had a great trip. Then don't ever mention the trip or Luca again. And then go home and cut your balls off.
Your friends are giving it to you harsh, but they are not wrong. This is clearly the plan A man to her, and you are the backup. I want to talk about it, but I'm unsure of the best approach. How can I discuss this with her in a way that opens the conversation without escalating things? What's the best way to express my concerns and get clarity on her perspective and an honest apology without it turning into a confrontation? Honestly, you don't, man. She did something that clearly doesn't fit within the bounds of what you'd expect from your S/O. That means you simply exit and find someone else that more closely aligns with you ideals of what constitutes appropriate behavior within a relationship. Going on a 101 trip with another man who's obviously romantically interested in her and prioritizing him opening up to her over spending time with the man she supposedly cares more for, Absolutely wild behavior.
Yep, the relationship is over. Bail on her. She did this to you. She was thinking of someone else more than she was you or how you'd feel. She doesn't respect you, dude. Bail on her. There is only more pain down this road with her. Best to get out of the car.
She is on a sex vacation right now with Luca, dude. If you can handle that, then pick her up. If you can't handle that, then leave her ass on unread and never talk to her again.
She is exploring her other options, mate, and that may include quite a bit of things.
I bet you already know what has to be done in this case.
Mate, I'm always the one who says people can have friends of their fuck preferring gender. I detest that as soon as anyone I know is in a couple, it essentially becomes impossible to ever see them again without their partner. I don't think I have ever answered one of these with, she's fucking him, but she is absolutely fucking him.
Even if, and that's a big if, they're not fucking, she still chose this random guy's feelings over yours. You're still young and you've only been dating for 4 months, so time to dump her and move on. And why wouldn't you want to turn this into a confrontation anyway? She left you behind to go on holiday with another guy. Seems like that is worth confronting her about.
She just spent 20% of your relationship with another guy on a little getaway. You're not a cuck, you're just a gullible dummy in love. It's time to move on from this one, my friend, because she ain't the one. It's better to find out after 4 months rather than 4 years, or possibly even after having a kid with her.
I really hope you are trolling. You can't be seriously keeping her in your contacts, let alone spending more than 5 seconds thinking about going pick her up. She tried. If it worked out, you are already in her past. If it didn't, you will fill the gap until she finds the next candidate. Get real.
I often read here and think that other Redditors are overly reactive and too quick to pull the trigger, but in this case, absolutely not. Your girlfriend has not been fair with you. She literally is having her Italian cake and is eating it too. She may want to dump you when she gets back, or maybe want to pick up with you once he goes back home, but in no world has this been a friends-only trip. And at best, you will be her backup once he's gone back to Italy. Please have some self-respect and move on, leaving her in your rearview mirror.
Think of it this way. Reddit, I need your help. I smelled smoke on this building. Fast forward 21 minutes later, there's flames all around me. I think I heard the roof cave in and the building is filled with black smoke. I really like this building though. What should I do? Run, man, run, and don't look back. No matter what, you get out of there.
If you accept this from her, then it is going to get worse. You will have shown her that you are a doormat and she can get away with doing whatever she wants to you. She didn't even bother to come up with a better excuse for you to not go on this trip.
Recover your things before she returns, if she has any of them, and ghost her. Seriously, go no contact, and that's that. Don't look back. Don't get gaslit any further. Don't fall for the inevitable tears and apologies once Luca fucks off back to his home country. Prioritize yourself.
Well, at 19 years, you don't really know how to navigate relationships. I'm nearly 70 and I'm still not sure. However, here are some insights about your hopefully soon-to-be ex-girlfriend. She is what's known as a cake eater. You're fine to have around, but she will ignore you when someone new comes along. She is a narcissist. She will do what she wants without regard to your feelings or needs for trust. She is loyal to no one but herself, particularly not you. This trait will continue through her life. Bottom line, dump her. You don't necessarily need to ghost her, but go no contact as much as possible. Also, your friends that are calling you a cuck, I think they really do have your best interests at heart. They are using some tough love to show you that you are worth better treatment than what your GF has shown you. Godspeed, OP. I'm sorry you were in this mess. I do believe that your best action is to break up with her.
Being serious here, I would stop the relationship, at least for a while, until things are discussed and everything is on the table. No reason to act like there isn't a problem.
You know she is screwing that guy, right? Is he single by any chance? Kinda good looking. She is playing you, brother. Imagine You said, hey, honey, I'm going on a trip for 3 weeks with this hot chick I know. She's really into me, but don't worry. Oh, and by the way, you can't come. Lol, red flags run. Don't walk. Block her, move on.
Had a very similar experience with my first GF. We both played Double W together, and without going into much detail, she wanted to visit a male guildmate who lived abroad alone, which didn't really sit well with me. While she was gone, I stumbled upon very revealing texts/emails the two of them wrote to each other, and when she came back, I confronted her directly. Long story short, she cheated. I was, of course, heartbroken, but I broke up with her then. So my advice is, confront her directly and tell her this does not fly. If she wants to have a 3-week vacation with another man, she has to do that without you in her life. This is not escalating. It's a major problem in your relationship if you accept this happening.
I haven't seen one meaningful reply from you to the recommendations in these comments. Grow some balls. Because to most of us, your relationship ended the day she left. Find a way to move on. Best of luck.
She's breaking up with you in a very non-confrontational way. You should just end the relationship. This is so inappropriate on so many levels. I would not put up with my girlfriend going on a 3-week trip with a guy who has feelings for her, excluding me, and also ignoring me during the trip.
If you pick her up for the airport, you deserve the life she has planned for you. I would probably even ghost her. You are 100% a cuck if you want to stay with her. This is not normal and not okay at all. Your friends are right, and their open comments should be a huge... I would text her 10 minutes before she lands and say, hi, I won't be picking you up. I'm sorry about the last-minute change, but my mom, friends, and 1,000 other people on the internet helped convince me that this was the right choice. I wish you the best. Then block her and delete her number. Block her family. Move on. Time to grow up, dude. Life isn't a Disney movie. You're naive, and you need to grow up if you don't want to get eaten alive by women like her.
The one Italian guy she clicked with, kept in touch with, romantic feelings from him involved. I distance myself from such if I were dating someone, intimate secrets, what's that supposed to mean, and 21 days together. Well, she doesn't give a fuck about your feelings, that's for sure. And 21 days are a long time for stuff to happen. Sorry, my guy.
Time to move on. Someone else has undoubtedly been having sex with your GF for the last 21 days. Almost no communication seals the deal, as it shows she wasn't missing you because she was with him. Don't pick her up from the airport and pack and return anything you have of hers to her mother.
He is literally dogging your girl out as we speak, my boy. The fact that you let it go is okay. It happens to the best of us. But if she comes back and you pick her up from the airport, you will be a joke. It's been 4 months, 120 days. It's not like you lost much. Just find a better GF.
She explained that she had made a promise to Luca to make him feel welcome during his visit and that my presence would interfere with their time together. That tells you all you need to know right there, buddy. If I were you, this relationship would be over right now. Given the fact that she disrespected you like that, dump her, leaving absolutely no closure whatsoever, leave her wondering for the rest of her life, and abruptly block her on everything and any way possible. Do not explain. Sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, and people as low as this do not deserve to be given closure. When dumped, by the way, she can fucking walk home from the airport.